Thank y'all. Heck of a roller coaster ride the last few days. The game, obviously Thursday night. Playing for so much at stake, and us coming up just short, and then turning right around yesterday and finding out that we're in the FCS playoff tournament. And, so you about get as low as you possibly can, and then all of a sudden you get that great feeling of you're in the playoffs. And I'm glad that the committee looked at our entire body of work throughout the season. I thought that we played well during the course of the season. I didn't think we had any just really bad games against some good football teams in our conference. And I was glad. I appreciate the fact that they looked at us in that light. The Nichols game obviously came down to the last play, the last few seconds of the game, and but we had opportunities along the way, and we got to give them credit and congratulate Coach Rebo and that staff and getting those guys ready to play. I don't know, and I hadn't been here. Obviously, you guys have, but I don't know if there's a better environment than what we had here Thursday night. It was just fantastic. It was electric. It was the fans, both sides, the music, the noise. It was so good to be in that type of environment. The only other one I can think of is when we played Arizona State when I was at Arizona. The passion on both sides was pretty cool to be able to be in that environment. And again, they were well prepared. I thought we competed against them, jumped out early. They came back. We stayed in there with them, got up late. They scored right there at the end. We had a 2-minute drive, went right back down the field and had a chance to punch it in, just didn't get it done. So we didn't spend much time on that. We finished that up over the weekend. Yesterday was all about getting ready for the tournament and if we were going to get in or not. And fortunately, we were able to get in. And then we've been spending the last, 24 hours or whatever, working on Villanova. So a really good football team. They played 4 top 15 teams this year, beaten 3 of them. Had a lead on James Madison late in the game, threw a pick 6, kind of fell behind and then lost by another score. They're 9-3. I think their quarterback is probably what makes him go. He's athletic. He reminds me a little bit of Copeland at UIW. He's athletic, extends the plays, keeps his eyes down the field to be able to throw when he is scrambling. So when he has an opportunity to throw the ball down the field, he does. He does a nice job of that. He can keep a play alive. Number 2 is a receiver. He's a 1,000-yard receiver. They got a 3,000-yard passer. The running game's solid. But number 2 is very similar to what we just saw this past weekend at Nichols. He's a home run guy. He can score from anywhere on the field. He's got great speed and length. Very good route runner, good hands. He's probably as good as anybody we played this year, including the guy from the other night. So we got to make sure that we have a game plan set for him and be able to do some things with him. But this is a football team that's very physical on both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. And I think we've been preaching that all season long about how we wanted to change that. We wanted to become a physical football team on both sides of the line of scrimmage. So this will be a great test for us to see how we do. Defensively, they're a 3-4 team, so we'll see a lot of odd front spacing. Not a big pressure team, although they did have a couple of games this year where they pressured a lot. But for the most part, they're not a big pressure team. Their coverage and attack with their front guys because of their size. They plug up the holes, in the run game. So we're going to have to, we got to do a great job of making sure we get our guys in the right position, in the right place to be able to take advantage of some things. So with that, I'm better off probably answering any questions that you guys got.
You talked about the roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
How quickly do you guys have to flip that switch and go from, hey, we're glad we made it, and now it's time to go to work?
Well, normally you got Saturday and then the Sunday. Like a lot of teams went from Saturday to Sunday. We had Thursday to Sunday to kind of, whine about it, and so we're done. We're done. To anybody else, the Nichols State game seems like it was yesterday. For us, it seems like it was last month because we've already got involved in Villanova. So you don't, we did all of our stuff on Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday was made to find out if we were going to be in or if not. And us getting in, we went straight to work, and that's where we need to be.
What's the status on Alexis Ramos?
He'll sit out the first half, and then he'll be able to play in the second half. So he's got to sit out the first half because of the targeting penalty, and he'll be available for the second half.
How big a loss is that for you?
Well, I thought Dominic Lamb came in, picked off a pass, made a couple of tackles. So we're next man up. That's what we're doing. We've had a lot of guys go down this year, and we've had other guys step up and played well. So we got some young kids that are we got a race to maturity with them, and we're doing a good job developing. I think our staff's doing a really good job of coaching these guys and getting them ready to play. So if Dominic's playing well, I don't know how much Lexus will play in the second half. We'll just we'll see how it goes.
What did you kind of learn about the selection process? I know when we left Thursday, it was kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and honestly, I still don't know. I watch it on TV like everybody else. I don't. I know what they're. You're told when you go play an ambitious out of conference schedule, at the FCS level, it carries more weight than going to play an FBS team and losing. So we got more. It helped us to go play Jacksonville State and win than it did to us to go play Ole Miss and lose, in the committee's eyes. And I'm happy that they looked at everything. We had 3 conference losses, by 6, by 4, by 1 point, and that's. Do we have a chance? Yeah, we got a chance to win those games, and we got to figure out a way to win those things. But for us to play that well on some of these games, I think that the committee did look at that. Us winning, decisively up in Central Arc. Nobody goes in there and does that, and we were able to do that. And I think we finished the season with 4 wins in our last 5 games, and I think that carried some weight too. So I don't know. I wasn't in the room. I'm just so happy they came to the agreement that we needed to be in this thing. I think regular bumps and bruises for the game. Yeah, I don't see it. We don't have anybody that's not going to play this coming week because of what happened this past week. Alexis is the only one that have to sit out the first half. Everybody else will be available for us.
Tough finish for Cole. And he had
we wouldn't be here without him doing that. What he's been able to do for us this year in those situations, he's been, fantastic. Come on, you look at, he leads our team in rushing touchdowns. He's thrown 10 touchdowns. So his contributions to our football team made a mistake, fumbled the ball. And it's just magnified because of the situation. But you never want to do that. But at the same time, it's just like anybody else on our team. When things happen, we rally around him, and our players have rallied around him and lifted him up. And, he was in there yesterday celebrating like the rest of us.
What about your kicker? He needs a little confidence, too.
Well, if he makes them, he'll get some confidence. Yeah, that's the best way to get confidence, make them kick. So, it's all about practice with us. The preparation during the course of the week, that's what dictates what you do on a Saturday. And, and I've been saying this. We have been practicing well. Since that open date, we have really practiced well. Each and every week. I'm not BSing anybody. We've been practicing well at high energy, high intensity, guys not making a lot of mistakes. And, you got to prove yourself Monday through Friday if you want to be able to be a part of what's going on Saturdays.
Do you have any alternatives in case he still struggles in practice?
We'd go for 2. Yeah, we could do that. We're going to do whatever we can. We're going to trust him, and for certain things. But at the end of the day, we got to do everything that we can, and that's my job, to do everything that we can to give our team the best chance to win. And I love him to death, and I want him to do well. And but he's got to work on it Monday through Friday and get his head, and let's go. We'll go from there.
Talk about their quarterback and the strengths he brings to the table. What does the rest of their offense like to get done?
Yeah, they're big up front. And like I said, the receivers, 82 and 2. 2's the big guy. He's the home run guy, but 82 is second on the team in catches, receptions. Really shifty, good route runner, precision. Has some long speed. So those 2 guys, they're not a big tight end oriented offense, except maybe to run some lead stuff with him. I think their running back, they got a guy that would have been a 1,000-yard rusher. He's out. They're replacing him with a couple of other guys, so it's kind of almost like a committee back there at the running back position. But the quarterback is the one because he's got escapability. He's accurate throwing football, and he's the one I think that kind of makes him go on offense. They're a zone read, sweep in the run game, and then concept and getting the ball out in the pass game. I think they've given up 12 sacks this year, and at the same time have gotten 26. So they do a good job of taking care of the quarterback.
With them being an unfamiliar opponent, do you look and see how other teams had success stopping them, or are you just worried about what you guys can do successfully on defense?
Well, really, everybody you play each week is unfamiliar, right? Because I mean, you don't know. We don't know who's going to show up sometimes at these games. So we go with what we feel like is good for us because I think it's more important for us to know who we are and what we're able to do and what we're capable of doing, whether it be on offense or defense. You know, you say, well, so and so is having a lot of success throwing the football on these guys. Well, if we're not throwing the ball well, we're not going to throw the football. So same thing in the run game. Same thing. Some people might be pressuring them, and that's not what fits us. So we're not going to do that. I think that at the end of the day, we got to do what we do well, and then we'll figure out, you know. But we'll have a game plan on both sides of the ball.
Frank, comment on the university administration having this game at home.
You know, here's what you got to remember, Alan. Which I did find this out. It's not necessarily the highest seed that gets the home game. It's the university that steps up financially and says, you know what, this is what we want. This is good for us. It's an investment. And for Dr. Crane and J.R. Teagues and everybody involved in administration to step up and say, we're going to go all in on a playoff bid, which they had to do it a couple of weeks ago. We're going all in on this playoff bid, and if we play well enough and we get a chance to get in, we got a chance to get it here at home. And for us to be able to do that, I think this is the third one or the fourth one in the history. And for us to be able to do that with a 7-4 record speaks volumes for the support that the administration has for our student athletes. I can't thank Jay enough and Dr. Crane for them being able to do that for us.
How much of an advantage is it, you not having to go up there? I saw today, Thanksgiving, at least in the Northeast, will be real cold and windy. They may not even have the Macy's parade on Thanksgiving Day.
Well, my wife's got defrosted turkey, so that thing's frozen right now, so I guess they got to do the same thing.
How much of an advantage is it for you not to have to go into uncertain weather up there?
Well, I mean, anytime you get a chance to play at home here, I mean, for us, we got an advantage. So that helps me, or helps us. But the conditions when like you're just talking about, I haven't even looked at the weather up there because I'm not going. So them guys are coming down here, and I know it's going to be about 75, 76 and sunshine, and 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This is going to be. I'm hoping this rivals what we saw this past Thursday night. I'm hoping that we get the casual fan coming in to watch this game because this is a really good football team from Villanova that's coming in here. We're in the national playoffs. It doesn't happen every year, and we got a home game. Man, this is a great thing right here. Thanksgiving Day holidays, it's going to be a great thing. Great venue, great opportunity for people to come see some really good football.
Walking off the field, I know there's a lot of emotions, a lot of kids crying. Talk about the flip of that when they heard their name yesterday.
Yeah, kind of like I said a while ago, when some of those guys, bless you, when some of those guys getting off the field on Thursday and Friday, you're making some phone calls to them and saying, look, just hang on. That might have been my last game. I might not ever play. That's it. I'm walking off this field for the last time. And then you flip the switch, and that happened yesterday. You saw, especially the seniors. That's the ones you kind of fired up about. And, when you think about, we had them on the radio show last week, Chase and Virgil and Isaac Berglund. And we had those guys on the radio. And I can't tell you how many phone calls I got, emails, texts. These guys are unbelievable. I can't believe, man, we kind of missed out on these guys since they've been there at Southeastern. I wish this thing wasn't over so soon. Well, it's not. They got another one for sure. So, you get an opportunity to come watch these guys play. These are quality kids. And you get a chance to come watch them play again this Saturday, man. It's going to be awesome. But, yeah, it was even for me, I'm mad. You always go back as a coach and you critique everything. Like I said, from the pregame meal all the way through the last second. And you do all those things, and you look in the mirror because that's what you got to do because it starts with me. But then after you go through that whole process, you move on. And we were able to move on.
Was Coach Gary on the staff at McNeese in 2002 when they beat Villanova?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Through this process, through the playoff system?
Yeah, he has. Well, Greg was on the staff here in, 13, maybe 14. So Lance they've been in the playoffs. Kerry Joseph's been in the playoffs as a player. So there's been, there've been some things, but there's been some new changes, some rules, different roster sizes and things like that. So there's a few changes that have taken place in the last 4 or 5 years since they've done it.
You were talking about yesterday, you haven't been in a playoff situation since high school.
1990, I think, is Chapel Hill, or maybe 91. I think it's Chapel Hill. I was a coordinator then. Yeah.
What's it like, for a coach, as a coach, to be in a win in advance situation
Oh, I think that's why, you know, the FBS, that's why that whole process has just exploded, and it's going to continue to grow until they add more teams, and they'll keep doing that. This is the purest form of finding out who the champion is going to be. The NFL playoffs, you got to play. You got to win the games to win it all. You can't just, you know, do something really good early in the year. You got to finish this thing the right way. There's only going to be one winner. That's it. Everybody else goes home a loser. And it's kind of a sobering thought when you think about it that way, but if you don't win it all, you're a loser. That's how people look at it. So the opportunity for us to be in the playoffs and going all the way, man, it's awesome.
I would think it's even a different feeling than being in a bowl game.
Oh, absolutely. Well, a bowl game is just a reward. You got to remember that. It's a great thing. I love the bowl system. But you haven't accomplished anything except you got 6 wins. So other than that, it didn't even tell you where you're playing. You got 6 wins. You're in. So you know you're going to a bowl game. Might be week 7, week 8. That's not what happened here. We waited till Sunday, 11:40, 45, or whatever it was, and then boom, we popped up on the screen, and it was exciting. So I've never had that emotional feeling going to a bowl game because I knew we were going, you know, so it wasn't that big a deal. And then for the bowl game, you're one and done. No matter what happens, you're one and done. You win, you're done. You lose, you're done. Doesn't matter. This thing here, now you can keep on going. It's up to you how long you want to play.
Look at their receiver Hodge, 8 catches, 236, and 4 touchdowns. What was happening there that you guys see the film now?
On what, him?
Yeah, on that last game.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's catching and running, man. They wasn't catching him. And,
he's doing something well.
well, he's good. Like I said, he compares to the kid from Nichols. Very similar. Long, catches the ball, and it can extend the field. And he's got really good hands, a good route runner. But when he gets open, and again, the quarterback hits him on the run, he's accurate. So when he gets open, man, he can go and he separates from people. We got to make sure that we're in his back pocket the whole game. That's going to be critical because he's explosive. He can win a game, you know, just like the other night against Nichols. That guy won a game. That guy can win a game. This guy can win a game. We got to make sure we game plan for him.
Can you contrast your emotions right now a year ago after that 44-0 game?
Nah, I can't contrast it at all. That was as bad as it can get in my whole coaching career. But I swore when I walked off that field it wasn't going to happen again. And we didn't win this one, but that's not going to happen again. That's not going to happen. I'm not doing that. And, you know, I don't think our players wanted that either. And that's why we ended up with some of the results that we got this year. So when you go back and look at that, there's a completely different vibe and environment around our locker room and our coaching staff than it was last year at this time.
It's got to be very rewarding, though, to be able to say it's not going to happen again, and then to make it happen and be in this position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's rewarding, but it just wasn't going to happen again. It wasn't going to do it. And, you know, we had to move on and find a better way with the people that are going to be all pulling in the same direction. I think that's what our team and our staff has done now. We've got a culture that everybody's pulling in the same direction right now.
Was there a point during the season, I know I talked to you back in July, and you kind of had a feeling that, you know, some things were different, but was there a point or multiple points in the season where you knew, hey, this could be a different group?
I think camp, you know, spring was really good. Summer is when we really came together. Every morning, those 5 a.m. runs, man. Watching them work out. I was out here every day. I didn't miss one day, just like them. And I was out here with them, and just being with them the whole time, I saw things grow and the closeness. And then we got to fall camp. I just saw things clicking. You know, obviously you don't have a ball out there in the summer, but we got to fall camp, man, from a football perspective. You saw things clicking, and that's when I really felt good about what was going on. Yeah, and during fall camp, I said, you know what, we're gonna be fine this year. We're gonna do some special things, and you know, we wanted to win the conference championship. It's not too big of a goal. We wanted to get in the national playoffs. That's not too big of a goal. Now we want to win a national championship. So it's not too big of a goal. We got to do things right. We got to prepare the right way and give us a chance to go do that.
From before the season started, you talked about how much you love this team.
Yeah.
How rewarding and happy does it make you to see for the seniors and for these guys to get to the playoffs?
Yeah, it's awesome. You don't want it to end for them. I mean, that's a tough deal, man. When it's over, that team will never be the same again. They'll never have the same guys on the field at the same time. And when you see how much they enjoy each other's company and playing for each other, you know, it's so much different when you play for somebody than when you play with somebody. That's a huge difference. For some people, that's just a word. It's not the case. With really good teams, they play for each other, and they'll take it the extra step, and that's what we're doing right now. So for them to have another opportunity to do that, man, it's awesome. Awesome to watch. To be able to see them celebrate with each other yesterday, really was hilarious. To be able to see them do that. It was just, acting like 5-year-olds again. It was, and I guess I was one of them. I don't know.
So you got on the roster with 105 tackles. Is he kind of who makes that defense?
Yeah. He's the Mike. He's the guy in the middle. All their linebackers are kind of carbon cut out. They're all about the same height, weight, speed, all that stuff in their physical football team. But he's the guy that makes it go. He'll get his share. He's gonna get his tackles, and we're not gonna block him all the time. He's gonna make some plays because he's a good player. But he's the guy defensively. Besides their front, I think their defensive line, I think is very good. I think they're big up front and powerful. They're gonna be tough to move.
Talked about it Thursday, just wanting to have another opportunity to go out with you guys. You guys have it. Now you have to see what you can do with it.
Yeah. It's everybody else wants it. There's only 24 teams that got it, right? And I don't know how many FCS teams are there, Mark?
120-something.
There you go. There's 24. There's 24 that got it, man. We're in the top 10% right now. So let's take advantage of it. Enjoy it, but know that there's a process that we got to go through so that we can actually enjoy the preparation, because we don't want to look back and say we had this opportunity and we didn't take advantage of it. So I want to be able to do that. I want to take advantage of it.
You were saying that to me yesterday, you thought the last time you were a head coach in a playoff was Prairie View.
Yeah, that was 1980.
82,
83, yeah. Might have been 84. No, it was 83, huh?
Yeah. You didn't make playoffs or whatever else?
No, we didn't make, went 7-3, and didn't get in. Lost the last game of the season, didn't get in. So, yeah, well, I guess. I don't know. Shit, how old am I? Yeah, it's a long time. It's a while back. But I've been in college, the last 25, we didn't make it in the NFL, and then I was in FBS, so there was no playoffs then. So
North Shore didn't, Galena Park, North Shore didn't make the playoffs?
No, I didn't stay there for the season.
Oh.
Yeah. I took the job at Tulane that summer.
Kilgore?
Well, as junior college. Played in the bowl game.
So Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill. 90.
Championship, though, you said?
89, we won the state championship in 4A. Beat A&M Consolidated in the Astrodome 14-0. We threw 2 passes. One of them got picked off. Ran for over 300 yards and beat them 14-0. Biggest upset in the history of high school football over there, supposedly. It wasn't. We thought we were pretty good. 90, we went back to the playoffs. 91, I think we were in the 91 too. Yeah, we were. Yeah. So we had a nice run there at Chapel Hill. Pretty good teams over there.
Now that we've got that cleared up, is everybody good?
We good? Thanks, guys. Do I need to listen, Damon? I'm good. I'm good. I never know. I don't know the rules.
Those Lisa playoffs must have been hard to get into.
Huh?
Those Lisa playoffs had to be hard to get into.
Yeah, they were. Sometimes they were. We played. In fact, we played Oak Forest.